The story of Dr. Arthur. Throughout the ages, the profession of medicine has always enjoyed, and will continue to enjoy, the respect of people. It is a noble profession that relieves patients of their pain and saves lives, often changing the course of life for many families. This view of the doctor was no different in the city of Sidi Kassim during the 1960s and 70s. At that time, many foreigners came to Morocco to work under cooperation agreements between the kingdom and their countries, especially the French, who worked in education, health, and other fields. The Société Chérifia des Pétroles was one of the vital institutions in Sidi Kassim, where there was an oil refinery. The company provided several services to its staff and workers, including appointing a doctor to take care of their health and their families. The company had a doctor who served for many years, but he eventually retired and joined his family in Casablanca. Many remembered Dr. Jean Ray. The position remained vacant for a while until a new doctor joined the company, Dr. Arthur Masca. Dr. Arthur Masca was a man in his mid-years. His hair was thinning, and he didn't appear to be in full health. He took on the task of providing medical care to the company's staff and their families. They would visit him for any pain, no matter how small. The man who never removed his white coat was the doctor they trusted to relieve them of pain and diagnose their ailments. He was provided a furnished villa, a service car, and a generous monthly salary. He had under his command a nurse, a few other nurses, and a specialized midwife. Over time, Dr. Arthur's assistants noticed he would only see patients in the presence of a nurse, especially during regular check-ups. If the patient was a pregnant woman, he would only examine her with the midwife present. He claimed this was due to his lack of Arabic language skills. However, the staff observed that he never prescribed any medication unless the nurse or midwife approved it. Everyone did their best to help Dr. Arthur integrate, as it was his first time in Morocco. Not once did he prescribe a medication without checking with his assistants. This raised many questions among the medical staff around him. One day, a worker came to the clinic complaining of stomach pain. After the examination, Dr. Arthur asked the nurse for her recommendation. She had just received some free samples from a pharmaceutical company promoting a new drug. She suggested prescribing it, even though she hadn't yet read its details. After the patient left, she reviewed the leaflet and discovered it was a new type of birth control pill. She kept the matter to herself. Now she was nearly certain of her doubts about Dr. Arthur's qualifications. 2 days later, another patient came in with abdominal pain. Wanting to test Dr. Arthur, the nurse handed him the same birth control pills along with the instruction leaflet. Dr. Arthur said the medication suited the patient's condition. The nurse was now sure he had no medical knowledge. She informed her colleagues, and they began observing him closely. They questioned him often about various diseases and medications, but he never gave convincing answers. Rumors about Dr. Arthur spread throughout the company's offices, but the administrative official insisted that Arthur Masca was hired after the CEO of the company, who himself was a former doctor, had reviewed his credentials. With no official decision, Arthur remained the company's doctor. One evening, a pregnant woman in labor was brought to the clinic. Dr. Arthur had to assist in the delivery, but the midwife was unavailable. He had to handle it alone. Hours passed, and the woman's condition worsened. Just then, the male nurse returned from vacation and, after observing the situation, recommended transferring the woman to the municipal hospital, where a respected Moroccan doctor worked. Arthur hadn't thought of that option. The woman was transferred in a terrible state. At the hospital, the Moroccan doctor saved both her and her baby. After confirming she was out of danger, the Moroccan doctor summoned Arthur to his office. That's when the moment of truth arrived. Without warning, the Moroccan doctor asked Arthur what steps he had taken to prepare the woman for delivery. Arthur panicked and grew pale. Trying to defend himself, he began shouting and threatened to sue the Moroccan doctor for questioning his qualifications. But this time, defense through attack didn't work. The Moroccan doctor, already angry, couldn't hold back. He grabbed Arthur by the neck. Arthur's eyes bulged, nearly choking, until the doctor let go. It was a shocking scene. Rumors about Arthur's conduct had already reached public authorities, but there had been no clear incident justifying action. Only after the hospital incident did the petroleum company realize immediate action was necessary. They decided to terminate Arthur's contract. When notified, Arthur demanded compensation, claiming wrongful dismissal. When asked to vacate his office, he made the mistake that would get him caught. He stole valuable medical equipment and a large quantity of medicine, packed them into a black suitcase, and headed to Rabat by train. The company's administrative officer filed a complaint with the police. An urgent message was sent to Rabat police asking for his arrest. A few hours later, Arthur and his suitcase were brought back. The police lacked enough evidence about his professional credentials. The police chief in Sidi Kassim decided to shock him. He ordered the contents of the suitcase to be dumped onto the desk all at once. Among the pile, the stolen medical tools, his passport which revealed he was not a doctor, and even a forged ring from a European medical college. Arthur remained silent. Eventually, he confessed. He had never been a doctor. He was once a leukemia patient in his home country, and while in the hospital, he used to help elderly patients walk. One day, he read an ad in the newspaper, "Doctors Wanted in Morocco." Ignorantly believing Morocco was an undeveloped country, he decided to apply. He knew someone who forged stamps and documents. That person made him a fake stamp of a prestigious medical university and forged a medical degree. Arthur submitted the fake documents to the petroleum company. Without verifying the paperwork, they hired him. Arthur Masca, the pale-faced man in his 50s, was exposed. He carried his own evidence of guilt and was tried accordingly. He was never a doctor. He was a fraud.